Hello and welcome to KitPlus TV, supported by Mediaproxy. Now, as you can see, unless of course you're listening to the podcast, we're in our Las Vegas themed studio this month as we approach NAB, which is running from 24th to 27th of April. And of course, we're really looking forward to being there.
Today's guest is a regular on KitPlus TV, and we're delighted to welcome Tod Musgrave from Marshall. Hi, Tod. Good to see you again.
Indeed. Thanks for having me back, guys.
We've been chatting to you virtually for the last 2 years with quite a few new cameras and new releases. How excited are you actually now to get in front of real people again? Going to be something.
Very, very excited. And to be honest, what really motivates me is meeting the guys and gals that are using the cameras in practical applications. We plan for cameras, we think about different applications, but really until you really meet somebody face to face and they share their passion for your products, that's really what motivates me to make sure that we have an assortment, the right feature sets, the right models with the right use case applications. Because it's hard to feed off someone's passion through email, even a phone call. But seeing them face to face, when you really get to talk deeply about their application, the features in the cameras used and the benefits to them in their workflows, that's what motivates us, right? To really speak to the people that are as passionate as I am.
I think that's a really valuable point about shows in general, actually, isn't it? You get that chance to get the feedback. It's not just about showing customers your latest and greatest. It's about understanding what they want to see on future things. So with that in mind, Tom, what can visitors to your booth look forward to seeing?
So we've been working on a high bandwidth NDI camera for some time now. We've had the NDI HX. We recently started designing in the NDI HX3, which is kind of the middle ground of NDI as far as latency goes and lossless video. But our 730 BHN is what we'll have showing at the show. It's going to release just after the show and start shipping shortly after we get back. But the feature of this camera is truly the high bandwidth, the support for NDI HX2, where bandwidth isn't as good, let's say, in challenging environments. But again, with very close, low latency video as high bandwidth. The advantage of this camera is also IP stream. So you have a high bandwidth NDI HX and IP stream simultaneous. Also the use of SDI. So you have a 12G SDI output as well as a 3G SDI output. So two SDI B and C outputs. This camera recently we've been able to design in GenLock. So it's going to be our first PTZ camera with GenLock. As you know, we have several other GenLock cameras in POV size. So having it in TZ form is definitely an advantage. Also with HDMI output, and then the normal stuff like RS-232 control and 422. But having that IP, NDI, and high bandwidth NDI capability on one platform is really going to be nice for this camera. And this camera is our flagship as far as performance goes. So our highest performing 1/1.8-inch Sony sensor with 30x optical zoom block. This camera also has a USB 3, so it's really has everything you can imagine and use case scenario in all types of workflows, whether it's broadcast, Pro AV. Really, it runs the gamut and has outputs almost for every application.
I think last time we spoke, were you just about to? I think you'd only just got your hands on the EPTZ. One of your newer products. Is that sort of a reality now, a real reality now? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So when I get the first samples, then it's real, right? To me, I talk to our product and product engineers, and we talk about what we want to do and what we're planning to do. But until I get this in my hands, it really doesn't exist. So I will be showing this at NAB. Again, it's a 4K 60 camera with IP, USB, and HDMI. So this thing could easily mount to a monitor, so you can live stream. It can easily be put into workflows in a smaller format more hidden from view. And the advantage of this camera is EPTZ. So it starts with a 4K 60 image, and you can move within it in HD, whether it's zoom, pan tilt, and adjusting shots slightly. The idea here is you're utilizing the whole 1/1.8 inch 4K sensor without having to physically pan and tilt and zoom. So it's going to be, we've had several other 4K 60 cameras. This will be our first in EPTZ format. And it's really kind of where size matters. You need to kind of put it in a place that maybe you aren't able to physically move a zoom block head. So we're excited about that one. The video quality is exceptional. Again, we're using a 1/1.8 inch Sony square pixel array sensor. So it's really top of the line sensor in our line. And you'll see, and I'll be showing the performance aspects of it at the show.
So it's been 2 years. 2019 was the last NAB. How have your customers' needs changed, Todd, over that time?
Well, it really, what you guys do kind of tells the story, right? It's virtual studios, it's remote logins, remote video feeds. So the IP stuff, the NDI stuff, the USB stuff, and OBS and other platforms, vMix, really that exploded during COVID, and those remote, and essentially less bodies in one location, and piping in sources from other locations, and making it seamlessly be inserted into the workflow is something that's really exploded for us. And we've always performed in the broadcast space, also the Pro AV space, and machine vision and all these other areas. But having it really, I think the Pro AV more so in any other part of our history, I think, is combining so seamlessly with broadcast, right? So we're using a lot of what Pro AV used to use in technology, and we're combining that with the broadcast stuff and technology, and kind of pulling it together, and pulling people together in virtual studios, and making the world smaller, I guess, is the best way to put it.
And are you going to be going to NAB with sort of, let's say, a key message? Is there a trend in what you're in the new products there?
So with this year with NAB, especially because we tried to go to the last NAB and it got canceled at the last minute there. But our plan is to have a open concept, more space, no walls. So having people be able to move around with more space between them. Think of maybe like an Apple store, or a what they call a Genius Bar, right? So the idea is people are able to interact at different pods. They're not cornered into any space. It's open and free flowing, and we'll have 4 pods on 4 corners that will show one pod with the Genlock global shutter and the other new POV products, one with HD PTZ and EPTZ and entry-level PTZ cameras, and then our flagship stuff like the 730 high bandwidth and the other HD cameras we sell into the marketplace. So it's more spread out. There's a center point where people can have a meeting and congregate, but it's more open concept. And the message really is that we have such a wide variety that covers so many different applications, that we want to show the true breadth of our product line.
So where can people find out more, Todd, leading up to NAB? And of course, whereabouts are you going to be at the show?
So leading up to the show, we're doing programs like KitPlus and media outlets explaining kind of what we're showing. I will be physically at the booth demonstrating our products with some of our product engineers. And
cool.
We're really looking forward to the show. We think it's going to be a good one. We think it's going to be between what it used to be 5 years ago and what it was during COVID. So we really are planning on kind of a middle ground. And I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised as far as people who come to our booth. Our booth is going to be in Central Hall. So it'll be C1307, kind of centrally located.
Cool.
and we'll be showing off all our new technology and finally getting to meet people that are using our products face to face, and to get their feedback is something I've really been missing.
Yeah, I think all of us have that, Todd.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing you face to face at long last in Vegas in a couple of weeks now. Thanks to Mediaproxy for their support, KitPlus TV. And of course, thank you for watching. Do subscribe to the channel and download the podcast, where you can also hear all the unedited content of this interview. You can find that at kitplus.com/podcast, or just search your directory for KitPlus. We will see you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and you've always got new things to talk about, Todd, anyway. So you always, you always got stuff to...
and not only that, but I think you're right, because we have so many, what I call the meat and potato products that are not newest and coolest, right? It's not the cake with ice cream. It's the meat and potato stuff that sometimes I forget about because I'm talking about the new stuff so often, So we're not taking all of our meat and potato stuff to NAB, but we're taking the most recent meat and potato stuff and then showing the kind of the icing on top stuff, like that high bandwidth that'll be come out shortly after the show. I didn't talk about the entry level stuff, but I don't think we need to. No. With promotion on the entry level, it's more of a budget conscious thing, right? You want to show the fully loaded car in the showroom, and if somebody can't afford it, sell them the whatever you need to sell them, But
I think people know that value for money. I think people know that they can come to Marshall for value for money at all levels. I think you've got to talk about what we call our bread and butter products, and then you can have also the icing on the cake, and then highlight especially the cherry. And
right. So the 730 is
cherry on top.
I think I prefer the meat and potatoes with icing on top myself.
Hey, that keeps you alive, right? That keeps you going. Oh, that's funny. I love
great stuff.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Todd. We'll see you soon.
We'll look forward to seeing you at the Millennium Bar, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Finally. All right. See you guys.
Take care. Safe travels.
Catch up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.